Kash Patel's now the head of the FBI. He's a man who has talked about finding those in the media who are anti-Trump and putting them in jail. Tom Tillis says the FBI warned him about credible death threats when considering voting against Pete Hegseth. Next time someone has that decision in front of them, it may not be the FBI warning them about credible death threats. It may be the FBI sending the warning themselves. That is what Kash Patel as the head of the FBI means. Are you all with me here? Do you all see what's at stake here now that Kash Patel's head of the FBI? One of the reasons no one in Congress will stand up to Trump, including Republicans, is they're afraid they might get death threats against themselves or their family. Do you know what kind of governments have that structure, Dan? It's not democracies. It's not where the rule of law works. It's not where everybody gets a fair shot. It's called something else.
Cry me a river, Congress people. Do you know what happens to Congress people who don't get reelected? They go into the private sector and they make tons of money. I am so tired of hearing Congress people cry about, well, I might lose an election, so I'm just not going to have any principles of any kind or stand up to anything. So you lose a primary. So what? What happens to you? Nothing. Credible death threats. That's awful. There are millions of Americans who have the threat of death and all kinds of things hanging over them right now because of the policies of the Trump administration. And that's what you're aiding and abetting. And those people don't get warnings from the FBI. They don't have protections. They don't have Capitol Police or Secret Service or anything else that they can lean on. They don't have the resources to go into the private sector and make $250,000 or $500,000 a year in some cushy job where they can hire their own security people if they really need to do that. They don't get to do any of that. So you sit in your offices being a part of the Washington problem that you say that you're opposed to, while you enable this administration to actively threaten the lives of millions of Americans. And you do it because what? Because you got some nasty emails, because you're not going to be in Congress anymore and you'll go out and you'll make more money than most of us will ever dream of making. I have zero sympathy for the GOP crybabies who want to say always off the record or behind closed doors or unnamed sources or whatever about how hard they have it as the ruling party under the dictatorial Trump. I just don't want to hear it. Just leave. Fine. Just leave. Just go do something else. But stop with the crybaby stuff as you punish immigrants and you punish trans people and you punish women and you actively threaten the lives of millions of people. You are complicit in this. You are leveling death threats against Americans by enabling this administration.
For more, tune in to the Straight White American Jesus Weekly Roundup on YouTube and everywhere you get podcasts.